Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Clementina and today I decided to wear the reindeer hair accessory because I am filming this in December, and today at work actually everybody started wearing some of those just to lift the mood up, and I have now decided that for every video that I'm going to do for the rest of this month I'm going to be wearing this. So let's get into it. Alright, I have my laptop over here, so I will be glancing from time to time because there are some very specific scientific terms that I fear that I will not get right. Today's topic is focused on foods that could help you improve your cognitive abilities. So all of us want to have better memory, we want to be able to learn new things more quickly. One of the most famous age-related diseases is actually dementia, and you can do a lot to prevent that just through your lifestyle, both through nutrition and through exercise. And we're going to focus on some science-proven strategies that could help you just keep your brain in good health. Alright, so we're going to start off with the fact that studies have already proven that children which are overweight or obese perform less effectively in their school than their healthy and fit peers. Such negative impacts of a bad diet and an unhealthy lifestyle can have an influence not only if you're older, but also if you're at a developing age, and that would actually be crucial because up till the age for 25 your frontal lobe is still developing. All of these reels that have been circulating around about how when you reach 25 then you get this clarity because your brain has now fully developed. Well, it's true, and until that age these children should do their best in order to keep everything in check and keep themselves fit for the best development of their brains. Before I get into nutrition, it is very important to mention that exercise has actually been proven through multiple studies to have a very positive impact on the health both of young individuals and also individuals over 65. The thing is that studies that were done on people that were subjected to an intervention with aerobic exercise for multiple weeks showed the best results. So aerobic exercise would mean cardio, like anything that gets your heart rate up. It supports neuroplasticity. What neuroplasticity is the ability of your brain to adapt, learn new skills, and also recover. So neuroplasticity is crucial as you grow older in order to stay as fit as possible. Studies have shown that exercise actually in combination with a healthy diet delivers the best results, but aerobic exercise could also offset the impacts of a less healthy diet, such as a diet that includes saturated fats. By the way, I'm going to be linking all of the sources that I have used below so that I don't really bother you with all of the data about the participants and exactly what the studies found and the numbers and everything else. So if you're interested, all of the DOIs will be in the description box below. These studies found that also if you had a high-fat diet, the exercise could then counteract the impact of this diet on your cognitive abilities. What I found to be the most shocking is that exercise can reduce the reduction of the volume of some regions in the brain that happens with age. As your age progresses, the hippocampal region that is responsible for learning and memory actually starts shrinking if you do not put any effort into maintaining it in good shape. There was this study that investigated the impact of aerobic exercise on individuals above a certain age, and it found that this intervention, I think it was a few weeks of aerobic exercise, a specific program, reversed age-related decreases in the volume of the hippocampus. Those were like 1 or 2% of the total volume, but still I find it really amazing that you can really enlarge your brain and reverse age-related effects just through something as simple as exercise. I already mentioned neuroplasticity. This is one aspect that can be improved also through exercise, along with the production of a very specific factor, which is called the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which again has some neuroprotective effects. It protects your neurons from damage, it promotes their recovery, It basically is better for the health of your nervous system overall that you have higher baseline levels of this specific compound. Exercise was found to increase the production of this compound. However, it was solely related to aerobic exercise. There were some studies that were done on resistance training. Resistance training, as you know, has other great health benefits, such as improvement in muscle strength, in bone density, and the reduction of the probability of age-related disabilities. However, it was not found that the resistance training induced higher level of these compounds in the blood, although there were still some positive impacts on the cognitive performance of the individuals, which suggested that there are some other mechanisms that improve the cognitive abilities of the participants. This specific compound, as I already mentioned, BDNF, was found to promote glucose oxidation, improve insulin sensitivity, which all reduces the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. One important thing to mention is also the fact that if you subject yourself to aerobic exercise over a longer period of time, let's say that you're being consistent with it, those baseline levels that you have achieved of this compound may start decreasing, but this can, due to the fact that receptors start to adapt, which is similar to the case if you're familiar with how caffeine works. The amount of the receptors is then adjusted to how much caffeine you consume. It is the same with these compounds, and by detraining for some time, you can then reverse these adaptation. Another compounds that were highly researched were polyphenols. I have already mentioned them on this channel. Polyphenols are basically plant compounds. For the chemistry savvy people among the audience, I'm going to put a chemical structure on this part of the video. This is a huge group of compounds. They have many subgroups and they are included in citrus fruits, in onions, in all kinds of berries, also apples and grapes, red wine, overall in many fruits and vegetables. And if you ingest more of them on a daily basis, there are very good chances that you're ingesting a large proportion of polyphenols. There was one study that was performed on a group of individuals above 65, and they were then followed across 10 years to see how their cognitive abilities would either sustain themselves or decline, and also what their polyphenol intake was at the same time. And the group that was consuming the biggest amount of polyphenols had also the best results for the retainment of their cognitive abilities and performed best at the psychometric tests that were performed. And the group with the lowest intake respectively had the worst performance on these tests. Aside from being antioxidants, polyphenols have also been found to regulate gene expression. In the previous video, I talked about how certain foods and certain factors in general can have some impact on your genes indirectly through regulating their expression. This is a similar case, and they can regulate the gene expression for genes that code for antioxidative enzymes, so they're kind of reducing the inflammation indirectly. And also they influence genes which act as cytoprotective genes. Cytoprotective would mean that these genes work to produce factors to protect the cells in your body. Another very popular nutrient that has been recommended for improving cognitive abilities are the omega-3 fatty acids, which are mostly available to buy in the form of like these fish oil capsules if you go to the pharmacist. Their beneficial impact on the brain function is actually very logical, because these fatty acids are one of the main components that neuronal membranes in your brain are made of. These fatty acids cannot be generated in your body. Your body can actually produce some of the fatty acids it requires for different functions by itself, but these fatty acids that are required for the membranes, it cannot generate. Therefore, you need to be ingesting them with some food or some supplements. Clinical studies have proven that the higher intake of these fatty acids can prevent the early onset of dementia and help retain cognitive abilities as age progresses. There were also some studies which were done on compounds that would improve your sleep. I found this aspect to be also very important, because sleep is crucial for you being focused and less stressed throughout the next day. And I think that having a better quality sleep can really improve your life and performance greatly, and improve your mood, your motivation, really everything. So I researched some compounds that could have some influence on the melatonin concentrations in your body. Melatonin is the hormone that is responsible for the onset of sleep, and it is produced from serotonin, which is produced from tryptophan. So there is a chain reaction that is taking place in your body, and there are some foods that contain tryptophan and therefore help the production of melatonin in your body. Those foods can be both animal-based or plant-based. From animal-based, those are foods like fish, meat, eggs, milk. And then from the plant-based foods, different cereals, also fruits and vegetables as well. These seem like very large food groups. Generally, the animal-based resources would have more of this amino acid just because they're also higher in protein, so just keep that in mind. Other compounds that were found to have some positive influence on the production of melatonin were B vitamins, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, just because they're involved in the metabolism and in the chain reactions that are responsible for the production from tryptophan to melatonin. B vitamins are also contained in animal products in higher concentrations. If you're vegan, or vegetarian, you can take some kind of B vitamin supplement and then ensure that you're getting a sufficient amount of them. What I also found really concerning is that in another study that was conducted, the participants were subjected to a junk food diet only for 3 weeks, so a diet that was high in sugar and also saturated fat, and they saw a decrease in the cognitive abilities and the performance just in 3 weeks time, which suggested that the bad performance on these tests was not only a result of obesity and type 2 diabetes, but generally as a result of the bad diet that was being consumed. Since in 3 weeks time, if you were a healthy individual prior to that, you cannot really gain that much weight or ingest that much sugar that you reach the point where you're overweight or where you have type 2 diabetes. It doesn't work like that. Another compound that was found to have crucial impacts on the cognitive abilities was iron. It is essential for the transport of oxygen to all of your cells throughout your blood. And if you suffer from anemia, you have a higher risk of short and long-term cognitive impairments, such as impaired coordination, executive functions, attention, and memory overall. Some iron-rich foods, definitely red meat. Iron derived from plant-based foods has a different chemical constitution, and its absorption is not as efficient as with the one from animal products. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, it would be better to be taking some kind of an iron supplement to make sure that you're ingesting a sufficient amount of iron. Another two minerals that were found to be contributing to better brain function were magnesium and zinc. And they are both found in different seeds, such as pumpkin seeds, cashews, almonds, chia seeds, also oats, a different variety of seeds. However, you should be careful with the plant-based sources of zinc, because they also contain most of the times phytates, which could partially inhibit the absorption of those minerals. Anyways, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and I helped you learn something new today, and I'll see you next time.